Good evening, everybody. It's Dr. Rao. I just was in the process of completing this book titled Present Moment Awareness and Living Life Fully Awake. That's the whole title. So, see, this is to be edited and then published, but I wanted to introduce this book to my friends. So I thought I found some time, so I thought I would come and talk about it, if not about the book, about present moment awareness, right? A lot of people, they find themselves with a world filled with constant distractions, right? Stress, and also the demands of daily life. You know, it's so much easier to drift away from the essential being fully alive. So this book is going to be an invitation to return to be here and now and to connect deeply with ourselves, our surroundings, and the joy that comes from a life lived with intentional presence. Okay, that is the thing, intentional presence, right? So the purpose of this book is to guide you, the reader, through a transformative journey toward present moment awareness. We will explore time honored wisdom, practical techniques, and scientific insights that reveal how your present moment awareness can be a bridge between what is currently happening is the reactive existence and a life of profound peace, clarity, and fulfillment. That's the promise. Whether you are looking to find relief from the pressures of modern life, that's the case with many now, um, or you want to strengthen your focus, or you want to reconnect with the deeper essence of who you are. This book provides a roadmap to experience life fully, free from the limiting clutches of a restless mind. See, ultimately, this book serves as a tool for awakening. So, with each page, you are encouraged to embrace the present moment, embrace the sacredness of the present moment, to really discover a reservoir of resilience within you and to nurture a state of being, consciousness, and bliss. As you move through this journey, you may come to realize that being fully alive is not ideal to be chased, but reality waiting to be lived. One breath at a time, present moment awareness. Okay, so let's look at what is happening. We find ourselves among a lot of uh, turmoil around us, and then everybody wants to send us all sorts of invitations, notifications, and telephone calls or SMS messages or any number of data coming at us. And that really provides constant distraction, which is really produces a lot of stress, a lot of people. They may not realize it, but they do have it. And also there are so many demands on life which hurries you, which will not allow you to focus and all that. So it's easy to drift away from the essence of the, living fully life. Many people are not fully alive because they are lost in their memories or they are lost in what may happen in the future, either fear, anxiety, or just aspiration, hope, and all. Right? Either way, they are not living in the moment. For me, that is life. So I talked about it all the time. So you wake up in awareness, you stay there without allowing your mind to go all over. Then you have the intentional presence. This is what I want to do today. This is what I want to focus on today, and I'm going to give my all to it. I'm going to live it fully so that I can really be committing my all resources to that. Okay, that is not there because of the modern working conditions. But then if you trace back a little bit, even few years ago, when internet was not there, when um, things are kind of stable. I lived that. Before the internet came in front of me, all the things have come. I try to adapt, but that's a different matter. But I've seen the life where the only one single phone and only one TV in the living room. So people used to go and sit there in front of the TV for half an hour in the evening to catch the news, or maybe a show, something like that. So you can regulate your day according to the available resources. In the office you go, you don't carry anything with you, and you go and focus what you want to do. Very few offices have televisions there, and then even if you have a television, there is no programming. Then the Ted Turner came, and uh, all the global reach has come about, and it's a good in a way. We are more aware of what's going on in the world, but it has become real consumption of so much material, and that churns in our mind, right? So, how to understand the onslaught of uh, all the data inward, and how to be smart about it, how to discard, even on the social media. See what we do? We talk a lot, you know, and we attend so many rooms, and we are kind of really thinking more like a robot, right? Because the data is fed and we immediately we react, we commit. So from that reactive life to something like a serene, calm, fulfilled life, PMA is the route for that. Okay, if you don't live in the present, if you are not aware, but if you carry on with your thoughts continuously, you're going to end up burning yourself out because it's a mechanical thing, right? And also, you cannot enjoy a lot of things. You do everything mechanically, and then you won't enjoy it after a while. Okay, so I have been living in this movement of presence for some years now, and I'm very grateful for that. And I don't want to be pulled back into that kind of life where I'm reacting all the time, and I'm always in my thoughts, and always being absent-minded about anything. Talking to my wife, the children, or the friends, or really talking to friends here. I'm kind of cultivated, try how to be in the present moment, and then use thought consciously, intentionally, and stop it. Right? People will be tired of me saying that, but then to help this book help more people, I need to tell how I live and how this has become very meaningful for me. And especially when somebody comes and asks me, I'm very stressed out, let me know. Then I ask him usually, uh, what do you do when you go to the work? Do you have focus? Do you focus on the moment, or your mind is running to the back or into the memory, to the past, or into the future? 99% tell me, oh, it's always going to the past or the future. Very few people tell me, yeah, at least I don't be there when the work is demanded. I focus on the work, and because I'm afraid that if I mess up, I'll end up in trouble. Okay, so because of the fear, they kind of stay there forever. It's like this. Suppose you are walking on the razor's edge, And because if you don't take proper steps and if you don't pay attention and you sleep, then you're going to seriously get hurt. That's why you are going to be focused. But then with that fear, with that all that negative energy is not good for you in the long run. That's what's happening now. People are imagining a lot of fearful situations, even though the situations are not really that. Okay, they imagine the dangers and then they let their limbic system work, and that's a very powerful thing, right? We react very easily to the fear and also to threats that we may have. That's why the limbic system is there, right? So when you react like that, it is not good for you in the long run because you secrete a lot of stress hormones. You see what happens when you have danger? You have a fight or flight syndrome. What does it mean? Fight or flight means that is really secreting all the hormones that are needed to run away from it, to really protect yourself. So we need catecholamines that are important. And but in the long run, you are doing it all the time. It's like a small danger, you do it. Big danger, you do it. And all these things are really um, do not help your health in the long run. Okay, that's happening more now because people are insecure about their jobs, people are insecure about their projects, and the IT people really get stressed out because they don't have a time. It can happen night or morning, and I know how it feels after the night duties. And these days, people, even though they are not working, they're up late. They're smashing their circadian rhythms, natural sleep cycles, and all that. So there are so many problems if you react like that with fear and apprehension, right? So be aware of what's happening within you and why you should be cultivating to live in the present moment. As you go through the book, when I release it, you will know a lot of these things with your own life. You will definitely identify some situations, and you could really get to see some techniques of being aware all the time, in the present moment all the time. Then you will feel a whole lot better internally, right? Without taking any medications. But you got to really understand because some brains are so tuned to reactivity, and they really suffer ulcers, they really suffer heart attacks, they really suffer anxiety, they suffer depression too. So many things that are going on because we are not able to control our reactivity of life. Okay, it's too much reactivity. We don't want that. Okay, so we want to be peaceful, quiet, normally, and then we want to focus and we want to do a good job at whatever we are doing, and in the process, our life will be settled, will be good. So, lot of suffering I have seen for people not able to be in the present. And that's not my just a casual remark. It's a lot of sympathy, a lot of willingness to make them revive their own inner resilience. I'm saying this. And then the people, when you coach them, they will find how difficult it is to be in the present moment because you go to the office and somebody greets you and somebody wants you to talk about the party that happened a couple of days ago, then you're pulled to the past, right? And then you go into the office, then they want to talk about this politician said that politician said this, that kind of thing, or the cyclone is coming, how good, all those things are there, right? So many things in life that happen which out of our control, but what is our control is how we react to them. And a lot of people don't even notice that the reactivity is in their control and they don't have to react to everything. Okay, that's what I try to you know incorporate in the morning routine. You must have noticed it. I say uh, the three qualities you want to cultivate is one of them is not to react to everything. React appropriately, so something that challenges you, that is a real important for you, that involves your loved ones, that involves your health, that involves your career, so many things there. Right? So people do react appropriately, that's fine. But this is like a inappropriately, unknowingly, all the time reacting. That is robbing people's health and also peace of mind, serenity, and all that. That's why understanding being in the present is important. Being in the awareness, but not in thought. Use the thought, but not go back to memories and aspirations and all that. Okay. Many people say, "Oh, this is not easy for me," but then you got to understand the whole mechanism involved. Why you are allowing the thought go wherever it wants to go. Why you do not spend some time practicing this, and then really really happens very nice. Okay, so uh, Cecilia says greetings. Okay, all right, some message, a long message I'll read later. So what it is knowing the importance of present moment awareness and practicing is another thing. Okay, just understanding intellectually is easy, but then implementing that in our life and really staying with it depends upon how wired you are already with all the conditioning that's going on. And there is a conditioning one way by the societal forces of social media and everything, but there is another way of we not being aware of that is going on and do anything about it. Okay, that's why we allow that to really crystallize that going into the past, going to the future, but never staying in the present moment unless we have danger, right? So, how can you be really in the moment, fully alive and doing stuff because you love to do and you're enjoying the moment and you live like that most of the day, and then you slowly you will be in that state all the time. You know, so I when I first started, it was not like that. You see, so I had to use some visual cues like a photograph on my phone showing uh, AIP. That means a question. Am I in the present? So every time I look at the watch or the phone, that picture is there. So that helped me to bring back to present, bring back to present. If I escape into that. Some of it we cannot help because if I'm looking at a patient, he has a past history, I have to go and look at that. But that is a information that you need to use to assess the patient. That's okay. But if I let my mind go back into nostalgia and all the things that I did as a child, as a young man, and there are so many memories you can do that. If you do that, then you are wiring yourself to be in the present, in the past, not in the present. Okay, so understanding that my mind goes away but doesn't stay with what I'm doing, that itself is a big deal. Once they understand, once they accept that this is happening to me, then they can look for ways where they will not behave the way they did, and also they will focus on being here and now, and that becomes a great, ingrained habit. Mind is like this. If you direct you to certain things, it will go that way, and if you do it all the time, it will go. That's how we learn talent, we learn any gifts or anything that we have to do. That's repairing some vehicle or doing a number of skills that we learn is by allowing the brain go through again and again, and the more you do it, the more it is. Bruce Lee, for example, uh, he said, I I will not afraid of person who knows to kick so many times, but I'm afraid of that person who kicks only one way 10,000 times a day. So it is that the same thing applies to the neuroplasticity of the brain. The way you direct your thoughts, they will be concretized in your mind. They form pathways that are neural pathways that get concretized, and then next time you have a stimulus with that thought or memory, whatever, the whole mechanism will come. Like for example, you hated a teacher, and the teacher really made your life miserable, and you have gone away from the school, and you are in the college and you're doing very well. But then the thought of the teacher comes, or he comes in front of you for some reason. Immediately you'll go into all those memories and relive them. That's the mistake we should not be doing. Don't relive the past. Also, don't have to dump the whole past. You can take the insights and actively take the insights, and rest of them try to put them down. Forget about it. And the more, if you have a memory of that, dump it, because it hasn't happened now. It happened before. So it is not real now. But you are in the reality of now. That's why that particular memory is not in your reality now. It is in your mind. But then the more you allow it to go unconsciously, uh, repeating, then you retain that as a tendency of your mind that will come up very quickly next time you have any inkling of memory waking up in your mind, or some stimulus, some photograph, somebody talking, something like that coming, a stimulus from outside. The longer you have thought before the established it, the easier it is. See, people don't separate from developing a skill and learning the thing again and again is one thing. But psychologically, that was painful, that we lived before, if it comes to you again and again, there is the damage. Okay? I hope I was clear on that. So, anybody has any questions or comments, or what do you think about this? So this book is an attempt to help people who are reactive, who are having a lot of stress in their life, who are having problems meeting the demands of life. And as long as everything is okay, they may be all right. But I get to see the people, things are not going right. They are having burnout, they are having stress, they are having relationship problems, like that, right? They're not fully alive basically, and then they're reactive all the time. Okay, so it does help you to uh, return to be here and now, and also connect with yourself deeply, and also to the nature around you. If you go out and then really uh, to a flower garden, you take it, and as you are going through it, are you in touch with the glory of the flowers, all the flowers, the colors, the wind, the bees that you see? Are you in touch with them? Do you see them without anything in your head, or you just go past it like it doesn't matter, and then you just driving away or going away, but never enjoyed the beauty, the surplus beauty that nature provides? That's the problem. Okay, so you working, you are using your mind, that's all fine. But why do you have to uh, really put yourself in autopilot about thinking and missing what is happening here? Okay, so this is a very practical thing. You don't have to report to anybody. You can judge yourself, or you can see for yourself, am I really in touch with the surplus of beauty that is available with the nature? Am I in touch with it, or am I good at describing it or taking a photograph and keeping it in store? But in the moment, I'm not with that flower. I'm not with the smell. I'm not with the beauty of the flower. I don't have any relationship like that because I'm engaged in my own thought. And I'm thinking, I'm very clever. I can think about a lot of things of the past again and again and again. Or I'm going to anticipate something in the future again and again and again. It's not like a brainstorming and preparing for the future. That's okay. But what I'm saying is losing touch with the living present and then going into the dead past or not yet born future. Okay, you can plan for the future, but when you are in the present, focus on what you are doing, what you want to do. So I have brainstormed something today about some things we want to do, and that's okay. But that moment also we were present. We were wanted to. What is that we want to accomplish in this company? What is that we want to do? That kind of, and then uh, as I attempt something, suppose it doesn't go the way I want it, then if you are really so much invested in the dream or in the aspiration of the future, you're going to come crash down. This is how these stressed out people, burnout people, they all suffer. As long as everything is going okay, they don't really notice that they are not being in the present and they are being in the past or the future. But then they are building something neuroplasticity wise, a brain that is becomes more and more reactive the more you allow the unconscious thinking go on in your mind. Okay, so be awake, be alive in the moment completely, and then use the thought and dump it after the use. If you can, so first of all, identifying that my mind is not in the present is very difficult for people because they're always thinking they are all going from to other, and then whatever thoughts come, they just allow them to go. They don't understand how to really slow them down, how to study them, how to change them, and also how to not to allow that to go vagabonding all over. That is what the modern world is doing, because most of the people think they are their thought built ego, thought built personality, or thoughts themselves, right? And they feel they revel in that. I have so much thoughts and all that. But then there is the other side when the dose of the thoughts has really quadrupled because of the data coming in from different directions. People are getting more and more stressed and burnout because they don't know how to live in the present. So there's a lot in that, so getting to be aware that I'm not in the present, getting to know how to really not to be in the past, not to be in the future, but how to really be in that energy of awareness from morning till evening, and then use thought in between for the things that you want to do. First of all, if I say people, thought is your tool, they would say he's talking something something they can't understand, right? But then once you taste that uh, present moment awareness, serenity, calmness, and joy that you feel because you are intentionally present, right? That is a very joyful thing. That much I can tell you. I enjoy that. That's why I don't get tired that easily, because I don't spend a lot of energy in persistent thinking, right? My thinking is intentional, and also my thinking ends right away, right? That's how I kind of do things. And also, what I do actively is to be in the present moment, grasp it, be present all the time, because you can see the movement of thought. Let that be. Don't go there unless you really want to use those thoughts. For example, I'm seeing a patient. Why do I have to think about what is coming up at lunch hour, and what is going to be this evening dinner of all the doctors? They are there, right? Then I will deal with them when they come. Okay, but there is a calendar, there is a event. Somebody is managing them too. Usually, my watch wants me what is coming up, but then I don't have to mess with that all the time. What is I have to do? Am I here or now with my present patient? Am I listening to him? Am I understanding him? Am I providing solutions for his relief? That is my job, right? So, am I really dealing with a human being or am I being mechanical? I can be mechanical doctor. Like I go and then just auscultate and examine him and then go away without uttering a word. I've seen so many people like that, and I do correct doctors who don't have good bedside manner and also really are losing patience for us, right? So that's what we did when I was working as a hospitalist. That was the thing we did lots of times. Okay, but then if I make myself intellectually available, that means what? That my intellect is not filled with the past memories or future going on, my own fears and all that, but I'm there for him to be open enough to listen to what he's saying. So that's the beauty of present moment awareness. I'm in awareness, I'm alert and awake, and really want to listen to his, whatever is going on in his own words. This we call it more like a motivational interviewing. That means encourage the patient to express in his own words what is the experience of this illness, when it start, how did it start, and then how did it feel to you, and then what did you do so far? Did you take some over-the-counter medication, or did you see a specialist or anything like that? And then also what was the treatment given and all that. And then I have to listen. I have to also talk to him about my understanding what's going on and what I'm going to do with him. All those things I have to let him know clearly, and I have to reassure him because he may have some underlying anxiety. So to perceive all that, I need to be present. I need to be. Maybe we are doing things mechanically, professionally. That's why a lot of patients are not satisfied, even though they got the correct treatment. They feel like they were not given the enough care. See, in healthcare, we need to have care. We need to display that we care about the patient's health and wellness. And they sense it. They really know who cares, who does not care. And also they know from your body language, from your way you are speaking to him, from the way you are giving time for him to express his questions and answering, and also going out of your way to really tell the science behind the disease and the educational aspect. All those things are there. You cannot do them if you don't have enough energy. You are thinking something else, and all your energy is going there in that unnecessary thought. Okay, many people don't know that these days people don't do physical work. People don't do some of the uh, listing and all that. Their devices are there. They don't write in the books and all that. What they do is they kind of expend their energy in the lot of thinking, are saying smart things, and they're thinking like I'm so clever, and other people are supporting them too. And lot of negative thinking, lot of unnecessary thinking drain you, because there are like even without doing anything, there are thousands of thoughts happen in a human mind. But if you allow that to form a network and go to 5,000 to 18,000, and your energy is drained. That's why even though you go to the hospital like our doctors, they don't have to do anything physical. Nurses are there, LPNs are there, medical assistants are there. So many people do so many things, right? You just have to go and examine the patient and then maybe do some procedure on the patient, maybe sit down and document, right? But at the end of the day, they are drained completely. Why? You have to deal with the data of the patient that is there, but also in your mind, you are unconsciously vagabonding. That means you can go to the far corners of the world and come back. So you can go to your younghood, your childhood, and bring back all the churning. That is what people are crazy about. Some people don't want to do this longer, more curative way or preventive way, but they want to do it with medication shortcuts. Everything is instant gratification, right? So these kind of things are not good, and If you are really psychiatrically ill, then you have to take the medication. But if you are not, and you're caught up with these working conditions which are making you stressed out and burn out, then you got to pay attention to that. Okay? Are you all alive and awake? Anybody has any comments or you want to come and talk to me about it? That will be nice. I like to see what your response is. I enjoy the present moment awareness for sure, and not now for several years. Okay, so yeah, I thought maybe it will come up. That's good. Hi, Mabel. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I was introducing this book I'm completing. It's called Present Moment Awareness. See, the purpose of the book is we are really working very hard, you know, and this is a world of that loaded with constant distractions, stress, and the demands of daily life. Okay, what it is, it really easy to drift away from the essence of being fully awake in whatever we do. What a present moment awareness is, not present moment thinking, present moment awareness. That is, let our life be lived fully awake. Okay. So what I'm saying is, by writing this book, I'm getting an invitation to return to the here and now all the time. Okay, so that we connect with ourselves and our surroundings, and that joy that comes from a life lived with intentional presence. See, that's what I do. I wake up in awareness, I preserve it, I don't let the train of thought come over me, and then I use thought and stop it after that is done. Yeah, I wrote it. I wrote this already, but I have to edit it and then publish it. No, not yet. I just finished it, almost finished it yesterday. Then I thought I will go and introduce to my friends. Yeah. 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 That's true. That's a good thing about all the data we have. But what I'm talking about is what is the data is doing to us to take us away from the present moment. That is happening with people. I see my own doctors doing that. I see my own students do that, and because especially with this internet explosion, data has become so much. This distractions and all. Actually, I talk about digital detox. We have to go through that, all of us. So, yeah, yeah, and then the phones to the kids, Mabel, they are addicted to the phones like anything. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
educate yourself, like what kind of food do I have to prepare, not
Yeah.
only for myself, especially for my son and my husband.
Yeah, exactly. Because lot of this data may be good in some circumstances, but lots of times it is unconsciously coming in. People are absorbing. That's where with the overwhelm and information overload. And then I see the consequences of it. The people's attention span is going down. Kids,
Mhm,
especially Mabel, they are losing
mhm.
the attention span. They can't see a video that is 10 minutes. They want it first few seconds, everything has to be told to
You know, doctor, yeah, it's so true because when I was a kid,
them.
you know what? This term is new for me
Yeah,
because when I was a kid, I don't hear about this kind of autism, ADHD,
yeah,
and so forth and so forth. I'm just telling you that I'm not aware,
yeah.
but I can see some kids like I remember my sister.
Mm.
She had a classmate. They have the same age, but I can see the friend
Yeah,
is more um slower.
yeah.
Like he's slower, and
Mm.
then and he cannot like I was already in grade six, and
Yeah,
he's already in first grade.
yeah,
So for me, it's just like it's not for it's a different
yeah.
it's a different how they um
They can't
give
focus.
space for the patient,
Yeah,
right?
they
It's just
can't focus at all because they're going from one to one very easily. The only way you can really increase your attention is by being attention to everything.
mhm,
And that's not there because these interruptions are coming, the
yeah,
notification, buy this, sell this. Most of the LinkedIn there are so many messages asking me to give them some business all the time. I can put some profound talk and all that, and they just don't read it. They just say like, and then immediately they say, I have this service, I can give it to you, you want to call me and all. All the-
yeah.
yeah,
It's just like it's just different now.
yeah.
It's how do you say it? I remember when my son is like around three,
Mm,
three. So he's three,
yeah,
and then since he is not verbal,
yeah.
yeah, he like you know what? I know that he loves gadgets.
Yeah.
He loves gadgets, right?
Mm.
So what happened is one time because he loved to watch TV.
Ah.
So but I have a small tablet,
Yeah.
and then I let him use,
Yeah.
and then I'm watching his behavior.
Yeah.
What happened is one time he smashed the tablet.
Yeah.
He smashed it like it's broken. Like okay, and then I said, okay, I think from here I have to stop him because one reason is his attitude changed.
Yeah.
He became more aggressive, and then
Yeah.
I told my husband like, okay, hon, this is what we do right now. I think he's become aggressive. We have to stop this gadget. So that from there, I totally stopped. He's not using any gadget.
Yeah. This is actually an accusation because the parents are using iPad as a babysitter.
Mhm, mhm.
you know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you know what, doctor?
Yeah.
I just observe. I
Yeah.
observe. Every time I go to the market because I bring my son. I bring my son to the market
Yeah.
because I want him to expose with vegetables and everything. So I just want him to expose, even if
Yeah.
he's not talking. Even if he's not talking, I will tell like I'm moving the cart and then I'm telling him that this is it. It's just telling him something. And then I see a lot of kids that they have in a gadget.
Yeah.
And then one time the mom looking at me and then probably the mom is thinking like why his child is don't have any gadget.
Yeah.
But for me, it doesn't matter for me because I'm just I'm just I this is the part of discipline that I have to start
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
I have to start now when I can start if I just
Yeah.
in that moment that he do that smashing that gadget,
You
I
know
have to stop.
what you are trying to do, Mabel? You are trying to protect his brain.
Yeah, 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 that's true.
Yeah, that's very important, very important because
Yeah.
this is a big discussion because spirituality talks about meditation, attention, and
Mm-hmm,
all that, right? For everything, you have to have that in spirituality. So
mm-hmm,
when we have studies on AI and spirituality, right? one of the casualties is this attention span. You
Mhm.
know, it
Yeah,
has,
that's the big problem right now.
yeah, you know what they say? Yeah, a goldfish has a better attention span than human being.
Yes, that's true. That's
12,
true.
12 seconds, I believe. 12 seconds it has, whereas we have only 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
No, it's a serious problem because people are not able to focus, people are not able
Uh-huh.
to talk to each other, people are not
Uh-huh.
able to develop relationships because
Yeah.
they don't have the attention. They may say something. You know, they sit next to each other in my clinic, the kids, when they come, and they will be chatting on the phones.
Doctor, this is what happened because I do volunteer in school, right?
Yeah,
Ever since, like I do volunteer, so I'm exposed with different kinds of behavior with the kids,
yeah,
and then this is me as a mom, okay? As a
yeah,
mom, I will say that I did my very very best to to like to put something to my son that some kids are very their behavior is way different from my son because my son is a very sweet boy. Like he was my like probably he have like and he's happy baby. And
yeah.
then the teacher asked me like how come your child is how come Nicola is always happy? And then I said like what I create the environment for my son that he is he is love and he needs to be happy
Yeah,
in
that is
that
the key.
environment.
Mabel, that is the key. He has
Yeah,
love. He has
yes,
love. That's the key. You know,
yeah. So yeah,
definitely.
I wish the parents that have this kind of if their kids have a spectrum like this, they
Mm.
need to be more um, pay attention for that,
Yeah.
especially if whatever we give to our child, like instead of some people are shouting, whining,
Yeah.
kicking, and something like that, and then instead of talking to them in a right way, they have to give something to stop.
Yeah, but
Oh, I will give you the iPad, so you will stop. But me, I
Mabel,
will not do that.
yeah, this poor parents have a lot of burden on them. They have to work and they have to make ends
Mhm,
meet and all that. But also, real culprit here is the Facebook, Twitters, and all these people who are promoting a lot of
mhm,
material that is destructive to the kids.
mhm. That's
Uh,
true.
they
Yes,
should be
yes.
controlled. That's why Congress is investigating into them. And they said blood is on your hands because you are allowing people to encourage suicide, to let them do lots of things that are not good for them, and that has to be controlled.
Yes.
Parents can do so much, but sometimes they may not have the time and energy to. So why should these people promote this thing? That was their question. You know?
Yeah, yeah. This is a lot of factor that
Yeah, yeah,
we are just lucky. I am lucky that I have a choice to
yeah,
to give time to my son. But if I don't have a choice, it will be difficult for me, and it
yeah.
will be a different
Different.
different Nicola right now.
Yeah.
Different child right now.
But you know
And
what?
I wish,
Mabel, your child is making you focus more,
yeah, yeah,
right? So he demands
yeah,
that, and then you give it because you love him.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. That's true.
that's a good thing. But that
Yeah,
kind of that's what I'm talking about here. Pay attention
uh-huh.
to everything.
Yeah,
Give
because
complete, yeah, complete attention, not a partial attention. Complete partial
yeah, that's
attention.
true.
Yeah,
That's
partial attention
true.
happens when you think of the past or the future in the present moment. You are not living the
Mhm,
present moment. All I'm saying
mhm.
is live the present moment completely.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's very big impact.
yeah,
If you have that kind of thing that it applies to yourself, it's a big yes.
yeah, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
this is like a social issue. This is like a
Mhm,
brewing issue. And a lot of
mhm,
adults that I see with complaints of stress and burnout, they
mhm,
all kind of don't have a control over their mind. It's going
mhm,
into back and forth, and they're making mistakes on the job, or they're
mhm,
making mistakes with the relationships. They don't
That's
know
true.
how to relate to the spouse, and other ways don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
And even the adults, these IT professionals that I see, they are really overwhelmed by the work that they do.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Yeah.
just we need, it's just that I think it's balance. We need to learn how to balance everything
Yeah.
because if we just like just go on and go on, go on, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden like, oh my God, I'm tired.
So,
What will I,
yeah.
what will I
You
do?
know, this balance also comes when you have this inner resilience. You know
Mm-hmm.
what is important, what my family is important, I have to attend to them, I have to take care of myself, that is important. That kind of thing
Yeah,
may be not there because they're driven by what the mind is saying. Go and see a
yeah,
movie, go and see other, but they neglect their own health. I'm seeing it with my doctors and nurses, they don't have time to take care of themselves,
yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And then they don't know how to handle their mind most of the time. That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It is. It's so different now. It's so different. It's so
Yeah.
I think it's too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes you cannot, too much. Sometimes you're having hard time to handle it.
Yeah.
That's
You
why you
know,
have to start. You have to start from the ground. Start
l-
all over again.
let me tell you my formula how I stay in the present moment. Right?
Okay.
This is going to be very illustrative because if I allow my mind, it can run
Mhm.
very, very fast.
Mhm. Yeah, 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 I agree with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes my coworkers told me,
Yeah.
Mabel, your writing is. They will tell me like this, Mabel, your writing I cannot read. And
Yeah.
I said like, you know what? Because my hands and my brain is not. It's not in the right. It's not. It's not in the right time. My brain is thinking too fast, and then my hands is writing like a
Yeah.
little bit slower. So that's why my handwriting is like that.
Yeah. Let me give you the formula. Okay. What I do from
Okay.
morning till then. When I wake
Okay.
up in the morning, right? Usually what happens is we think of something that's coming up, the schedule or
Uh-huh.
programs or meetings or so many things are there on my schedule, right?
Okay.
Like today I did 6 meetings today, and
Uh-huh.
also I kind of completed the book, and I kind of
Uh-huh.
created a couple of courses and all that, you know. But then I don't think of them, oh, they're coming up, they're all on their device will warn me what is coming up and all that. I don't want to.
Uh-huh.
So what I do is in the morning when you get up, don't
Uh-huh.
engage in putting your thought to work. Okay?
Okay.
That means immediately thinking of what happened last night or what's going on. Don't do that. Just be
Yeah.
aware. Just be aware of your surroundings.
Uh-huh.
Okay, notice the plants, notice the animals, notice the live human beings, and also don't even chat with them or anything. Just be aware of what's going on. What's the weather like? What is the, you don't have to describe it. Just be aware.
Uh-huh.
See, usually people think and they think they are aware. No, don't think
Yeah.
about it for 5 minutes or so, and then start deep breathing.
Okay.
That deep breathing puts you back into the present moment if you allow it. You know,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
the longer from the time you evoke to the time you initiate the thought, the longer
Mm-hmm.
it is, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, what is happening immediately, people pick up the device, the gadgets, right? They immediately look at that and say, "What's going on here? I want to follow this story or that story." And that. Don't do that. You know, leave everything alone, and then put the devices. Also, don't wake them up. Wake them up after 15, 20 minutes. Meanwhile, you do this. You know, and then after that, once you establish yourself in the presence, once you are doing that, carry that like a perfume through the day. So establishing in the presence is important. In the
Uh-huh.
beginning, it is very tough because we allow the mind to go wherever it wants. See, what it does is, I thought, first thought, when it comes, it forms another thought and connection. That is how the network of thought happens in the morning if you allow it. But restrain from it and be in the present moment at least for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Maybe it will. For me now, I'm always in the present moment. I may be talking, but I'm aware of what is all that.
Yeah.
Say that awareness grows up like that. The more attentive you are, the more this present moment awareness grows.
Yeah.
Okay? And then when you go to work, whatever you do, give complete attention.
Yeah.
Okay? And then at the night time, that's important. After you come home, Mabel,
Yeah.
just before you go to bed, first of all, shut the devices off.
Okay.
Okay, half an hour before. And then unwind your body and mind together. But in the mind, what you do is you review your day and then put it to rest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Somebody came to me, a nurse, and then she was very demanding to me, and then she was abusing me. Then I have reacted to that. Then I can recall that, and then immediately say that is happened and gone. Let me go. So that kind of dumping from our mind all the trash that we keep in, that will really clear your mind. I call this vacating the mind. The formula is aware in the morning in AM and attention through the day and vacation of the mind at the night
Right.
time.
Yeah. Dodo, it's so I now I understand
Yeah.
because during like after this is me when after I work I
Mm.
am so you're tired, you're busy and stuff.
Yeah.
And then sometimes even if I do winding down and sometimes I'm having hard time
Yeah.
to to calm and to go to bed like peacefully
Yeah.
because there's still something in my head
Yeah.
that I need to dump it.
Yeah. That's the one. That's what. That's the practice you want to do is be aware of that thoughts and then dump them. Is it?
Okay, now
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, I
Yeah.
get it.
What it
Okay.
is if it is trivial, dump them right away. But it's the important, like you have something with your loved ones
Yeah.
and all that, then document it on a device or a paper. I prefer to write it on the paper and put the paper away for the night
Uh-huh.
and pick it up in the morning. Then you can really get to your going and all. You don't forget things and all that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I do really, really. It's really no, that it's really,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
makes a good sense now. That now I understand more
Yeah.
about that because sometimes it's honestly even if I do already shut it down and then I do wind down and everything, it's just like keep. I don't know. It's just keep coming,
Yeah.
coming and
You know
coming.
what, Mabel, there is a danger for young people if they don't do this. When they become old, all
Uh-huh.
these memories come and haunt them.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. Right. Yeah, it is.
So I kind of tell them, clean up your mind. Don't accumulate the junk.
Yeah, no, okay, I understand it. I will agree with you
Yeah.
totally.
It's very tough. I know that it's not that
It is.
easy. It's very, very tough. But I'm there to guide people when they are trying to do with my students and with my colleagues who come to work with me about their problems. Sometimes it's so severe, they have high blood pressure or they have problems with their heart, problems with hypertension, and also relationships will get spoiled because in the
Yeah.
moment of heat they may say something and they regret later, but the meanwhile damage is done.
Yes, yes, yeah. That's so
I'll give you
true.
an example. There's this nephrologist in our hospital a few years ago. He was a very efficient doctor. But then nurse did some mistake. And
Uh-huh.
he said, why are you so stupid? Why can't you think about doing it? You know, you know what she did? She went
Uh-huh.
straight to the administration and complained on him.
Oh.
And then administration brought him and disciplined him because he said stupid.
Mm-hmm.
See, even though she did some stupid thing, you cannot call people stupid.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to, you have to be, you have
Yeah.
to,
You know that phenomenon I called Mabel, I phenomenon called for reacting to the situation.
mm-hmm.
But don't react, respond.
Yeah.
Shouting and all that is not good for you because my presence gives me this serenity, the coolness, and all that. I don't have to react like that.
Yes, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially if you're dealing with people,
Yeah.
you have to have this because otherwise you will see yourself like in the friction and argument
Yeah.
something that you don't even know that you are
No, no, especially in
engaging.
healthcare, Mabel, because we have to be kind and compassionate to people.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. That's
So
true.
not only the patient, but to the team too, because they are working under a lot of stress also. So you don't
Yes.
want to create a toxic atmosphere, but
Mm.
more like a healing, compassionate, kindness atmosphere. That's what I try to do all the time.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is hard to find it, but if you are into it, it's just
Yeah.
you have to apply it.
But side effect of that is that kind of non-reactionary responding thing. I am very healthy because of that.
That's true. It looks like you are
Yeah.
healthy. The way you said, the way you talk, it's just the way
Yeah.
you are. It's just
No,
like,
I am 70 years old, Mabel. I don't have
oh,
any.
no, you're not saying
Yeah,
that. It's not showing that. It's
yeah,
not.
but I don't use any medications. You know.
That's, oh my God. I wish I'm going there. I am going there because right now I'm in 40s and I don't have any medication right now.
Good.
I'm so blessed. And
Yeah.
then right now I keep
I
doing what
mean,
I'm
when
doing.
you need the medications, I don't mind taking or I don't mind prescribing. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is be proactive about your wellness, then you
Uh-huh.
don't have to take these medications and all.
That's that's positive, doctor. That's me. That's how because I always like me,
Yeah,
even if I believe in this,
yeah,
but I will go to the I will go to my doctor. I have my physical every like I have every year or 2 years I will go my visit my doctor and then I will ask how am I doing and then they give me a test and so and then they say oh you need something and something like this and then I will accept all the
yeah.
prescription but it's up to me if I will take it or not and then
Very
I
good.
will find an alternative things
Yeah.
that it's similar to this medication or
Yeah, I
any
mean, you have to discuss with your
yes
health provider, but you have to have a say in that. So you should.
yes
Yeah,
yeah that's true
yeah.
yeah
I
yeah
was a big time teacher for the patients to be proactive about their health. And when I first came to Iowa from New York, everybody is very intelligent. They want to participate and all that. But here I came to Iowa and I was open my practice and all that. And when I was telling them, what do you think? What do you then say, you're the doctor, you tell us.
that's it. I suppose some people listen. You're the
Yeah.
doctor. Just tell
But
me what
they
to do.
change. They change it later on with the internet, everything come. I'm actively helping them to understand their problem and encourage them to read more and come to
Uh-huh.
the. I used to tell them come to the clinic with the questions written down
Uh-huh.
so that they can
Yeah.
learn a lot. And eventually they caught up. They were not going to the emergency room that much. They were not going to hospitals that much. That's why
Yeah.
they said, "Oh, this is very advantage for us to participate."
Yes, that. Yeah, that makes sense. You know what, doctor?
Mm.
Every time I go to the every time I go to the I go to this grocery,
Mm.
particularly if I want to buy some specific something for like a turmeric or something like this. Every time I go there, there's a lot of beautiful stuff that oh
Yeah.
my god, this stuff is already in the store. It's just like more natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just people start doing that because they are start getting aware.
Hey, Mevali, have you ever heard about me defining what is proactive wellness?
I don't.
Okay,
I
I
don't.
think you like it because you are doing that. That's why I want to tell you that.
I
What it
mean,
is,
yeah.
what it is you, Mabel, will take
Uh-huh,
an account of what has happened in my family thus far.
uh-huh,
Okay,
uh-huh,
and also what is my past history, what I'm
uh-huh.
tendency to get from my genes, what kind of things
Oh, yeah. Okay.
right? You
Yeah.
can have a genome done now and you can know more about it. Okay, and then also you can examine what is the latest on nutrition, latest on
Oh,
this one, also ancient wisdom too. I
yeah.
combine them to determine I am proactively taking care of my wellness,
Yeah. That's
not
good.
waiting for the people to develop the diseases and then come with symptoms. Okay, see, that is the enlightened way of treating a patient.
Yes, that's another way. That's
Yeah,
another way to say, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, nowadays people are getting open-minded,
Mhm.
They're open to this
Yeah,
because
but still, what we see in the medical field,
it's
enormous
different.
amount of money is spent.
Exactly,
And then
exactly.
many people are sick, they are having bad outcomes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. I agree with you. I
yeah.
agree with Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
you are doing a good job being preventive, but understand this proactive wellness and bring
Uh-huh.
in those principles more into your life.
All right. Yeah. Well, because I'm just looking forward to be like, I want to be like when I'm aging, I just
Yeah.
want to enjoy like while
I
I'm
think you're
young.
right age where you can really be proactive and then you
Uh-huh.
will prevent a lot of things when you're 60, 70, like I am. Okay. So,
Yeah,
you,
okay. And I think it's in the future it will be
yeah, yeah,
positive in my
yeah.
in my
You
body or
see, whatever you do, sometimes things hit you. Okay. But you cannot really prevent all of it, but at least you
uh-huh.
can know what we know. Be proactive.
Yes, amen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Thank you, doctor.
Thanks, Mabel. Thanks. Yeah, it's always a delight to talk to you. And you are so intelligent and so full of life. I love to talk to you all the time. Thanks for coming up. So that is what I think we are looking for as healthcare because we don't want people to suffer, but we want people not to come only when things are wrong, but come ahead and check it out and use the modern technology and the ancient wisdom of the very good healthcare practices. And then by fusing both of them, you can apply a proactive plan on your own behalf and say, okay, my family history has this. I have these tendencies of this. How can with the AI? What is happening is I don't know whether you guys checked a website called Dr. Gupta's website. It's not CNN Gupta. It's like a separate Gupta thing. People are going there and they can put their symptoms and everything, and they can come to a tentative diagnosis. Or if they have a diagnosis already, they can have more information so they can get educated about things. Very soon, primary care doctors will be obsolete. You will be conversing with a computer, and the computer also has the capacity to give prescriptions. Those things are coming up. But now you have genome evaluation. Then you can suppose somebody came with a lung cancer. The first thing I do is the genome evaluation and see what he will be responsive, the chemotherapy wise or radiation, whatever. So that is playing a major role now. Okay, many diseases we are giving genomic therapy, guided therapy. Okay, and that is really making a big difference. I am very interested in the genome and genomic therapy because I come with a background of Ayurveda, who has gone to the minute reasons of the disease causation, and then they change it at the atomic level with the energies. So there's a lot of interesting things about that. In Ayurveda, they use medicine, food as the medicine, and the food also has the same kind of energies that a human body has, but then some may be compatible with your energies, some may not. So assessing what your energies are, what the energies of the food, that will help a lot. So these are all there is a uh, genome based nutrition, nutrigenomics, right? I gave a talk on that. If you guys are interested, you can go and find that. This is about is still in research and really experimental stage, but the concept is once you generate your genome and know what is compatible nutrition for you, this will be customizable to the core, right? So that kind of not because of your taste, not because it's a socially approved food, or not because you just enjoy the tea, uh, whatever reason that you are eating, but you go and especially nowadays people wear what is the anti-inflammatory diet, what is the like a gluten-free diet or a Mediterranean like that. We are specializing in the diet itself. But this is going to the core. What kind of genes you have that demand certain kinds of food. And once those formulas have evolved, then we will be able to give you custom diet that is really good for you. So take a look at that branch, nutrigenomics. Actually, there are two branches there. One is how your genes influencing your food, and how your food is influencing the genes. Other way, okay. So those two branches are coming up. I'm very fascinated about that. And the other thing is molecular health at the molecular level, at the mitosis level, at the not even mitosis, at the mitochondria level. You know what we can do in adjusting the diet that will influence your energy level, producing energy and all that. Anyway, that's all the latest scientific things coming up, which are very fascinating, and we're going to have a really proactive, really taking things that are appropriate for you and preventing a lot of diseases and nipping them in the bud. You know, that is good for the people aware who are aware of this research, these things are going on, aware of the availability, and asking their doctors about the possibility of can they use. Suppose somebody has a cancer these days, we do the genome analysis, but the patients themselves are educated to ask for it. That is proactive wellness. I hope I made myself clear, and that's how I kind of tugging along the people to really be very proactive about their own wellness, not waiting. Still, things happen. You can do all sorts of screening, everything, but you still can have cancer. You can still have all. But then if you can prevent something or if you can manage better, that's what we are doing in the medicine, right? In the beginning of my practice, there were no real treatments for the breast cancer. But now the cancer treatment and the breast cancer treatment has enormously improved. And we can make the women know the risk of the breast cancer very early and then recommend different treatments for them. Or even if they have advanced cancer, breast cancer, it depends on the cell type and humoral other. But then lots of on the gross level, breast cancer is better managed now than 20 years ago. But we need awareness. We need all the patients to know about it. Self-exam, mammogram, they're routinely done. So that's what is proactive wellness. One of the biggest things for the proactive wellness is how you manage your mind, how you are in the present, how you are living in the present, being fully alive and awake. And then you can enjoy a very decent serenity in your mind and joy of intentional presence. So my formula is always be in awareness, okay, throughout the day, and then use the thought intentionally, right? So that means in the beginning you got to be alert, you got to be aware, and then also you will notice there are periods you are not aware. You drifted into past memories, or you drifted into the something hopefully expecting from the future, and maybe some force will give you that other thing. But then once you are aware that I'm not really attention when these things are happening. So be aware of your inattention, and then attention will flow. So formula for me is very simple: awake in awareness. Don't let your thoughts get away from you. And throughout the day, be in the movement attention. And at the end of the day, empty your mind and go to sleep. Try that for a week or two, see how that improves your mental capacity and inner resilience. So this is a very easy way to do if you do it every day, but it's a very hard if you just think that I'm going to understand it, but I'm not going to do anything about it. You will never get it. Okay, this is not something like a weekend thing. You have to do it every day. So anyway, anybody else has anything to say or comment or want to come and contribute, you're welcome to come up. I'm at least following people who are visiting me here as a courtesy, so that I can follow them. Yeah, I follow all of them. So All right, if you are all satisfied, just remember this present moment awareness is a book I completed, and then that has to be edited and then published. And when I write books, but I don't publish that quickly. But this one I'm going to do because this is very needed for a lot of people. At least my patients and my friends, and that they see they are actually looking for it. Okay, so but I introduce the friends here and see whether I can help to make it understandable and make it more like they can do this. Okay, this exercise and all. There's a lot in that book about what are the scientific evidence of the present moment evidence, and also what are the ancients talked about, why they were so clear. Because one advantage for them is they didn't have this explosion of data, right? Same mechanism, but they didn't have that. And also, they didn't have so many manipulating forces like we have here. So, and also, people are really worried about the kids. Kids are not really being in the present. They are having a very poor attention span. That is not good for them in the long run. So we have to attend. Even now, it results in a lot of medical illness, mental illness. Okay, suicidal tendencies, depressions, anxieties are really increasing like anything. So that concerned me. So I wrote the book with all my input from the science and also from the um, ancient wisdom. But a lot of ancient wisdom you will see it there because they have mastered the inner realm. They have really used intuition, meditative awareness to go into the truths of life. Modern scientists also agree they are remarkable in that, and we are foolish not to really examine it and adopt the truths from there. Okay, I did. I think my life is much better not because of the modern science, but because of the ancient wisdom. I can proudly say that. But we don't have to neglect the scientific advances either. It's a combination that makes sense to me. Okay, fusion of modern medicine and ancient wisdom. So, in that spirit, I wrote this book also. So, hopefully, people will find it useful. At least if their attention span improves, then I get my reward. Okay. Thank you, and I'll see you again tomorrow.